Greetings, seekers of wisdom. I'm Mr. TomTom from Psychiant, Learn Psychology, and welcome to Volume 17 of our podcast series, The 48 Laws of Power. Power often lies not in presence, but in absence. Consider Cleopatra, whose strategic retreats amplified her allure, or tech visionaries who vanish from public view, only to return with greater reverence. By withdrawing at the right moment, they cultivate mystery and demand. In Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power, Law 16, use absence to increase respect and honor, teaches us that scarcity breeds value. Through psychological insights, philosophical reflections, and practical strategies, we'll explore why absence captivates the human psyche, how to wield it ethically, and its relevance in today's hyper-connected world. Let's uncover the power of stepping back. For those new to our series, we dissect Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power, a masterful guide to strategic influence. In Volume 16, we explored Law 15, Crush Your Enemy Totally, revealing the necessity of decisive action. Now, in Volume 17, we turn to a subtler law, Use absence to increase respect and honor. This law posits that overexposure diminishes value, while strategic withdrawal enhances prestige. By absenting oneself, one creates scarcity, fostering admiration and desire. Psychologically, it taps into our attraction to the rare. Philosophically, it questions the balance between visibility and mystique. Through empirical research, philosophical inquiry, and actionable advice, we'll examine how to harness absence in professional, social, and personal contexts without alienating others. Join us as we explore the art of strategic retreat, a counterintuitive yet potent tool for cultivating power and respect. Law 16 is grounded in psychological principles that govern human perception and desire. At its core, it leverages the scarcity principle, a concept extensively studied by social psychologist Robert Cialdini. Scarcity suggests that people value what is rare or difficult to attain. When someone is constantly available, their presence becomes commonplace, reducing their perceived worth. Conversely, strategic absence creates a sense of exclusivity, heightening demand. This is why limited edition products or elusive public figures command attention. Their scarcity signals value. From a cognitive perspective, Law 16 exploits the endowment effect, where we overvalue what we cannot easily access. Behavioral economics research, such as Daniel Kahneman's work, shows that scarcity triggers a fear of missing out, FOMO, prompting us to idealize the absent. In social dynamics, this manifests as increased respect for those who are selectively present. For example, a leader who rarely attends meetings but delivers impactful insights is often revered more than one who is always available. The law also engages the halo effect, where limited exposure allows others to project idealized qualities onto the absent individual. Psychological studies on impression formation, such as those by Solomon Asch, demonstrate that incomplete information leads to positive assumptions, as people fill gaps with favorable stereotypes. A reclusive artist, for instance, is often seen as enigmatic and profound, their absence amplifying their mystique. Neurologically, absence stimulates the brain's reward system. Dopamine, associated with anticipation, surges when we pursue something elusive. Research by Kent Berridge on reward-seeking behavior shows that intermittent reinforcement, encountering someone sporadically, heightens desire more than constant availability. Law 16 capitalizes on this, making one's presence a coveted reward. This explains why historical figures like Howard Hughes, who withdrew from public life, became legendary. Their absence fueled fascination. However, Law 16 has psychological risks. Overuse can lead to alienation, as social identity theory suggests that group cohesion depends on consistent interaction. If absence is perceived as arrogance, it triggers reactance, where others resist or resent the individual. Additionally, self-imposed isolation may cause loneliness, as humans are wired for connection, per John Cacioppo's research on social neuroscience. The paradox of choice also applies. Too much absence may lead others to seek alternatives, diminishing one's influence. From a motivational perspective, Law 16 aligns with self-determination theory, which emphasizes autonomy. By choosing when to appear, one asserts control over their image, enhancing their perceived power. Yet, this must be balanced with relatedness, as excessive withdrawal undermines relationships. In summary, Law 16 harnesses scarcity, cognitive biases, and neurological rewards to elevate status, but its success depends on timing and moderation. Philosophically, Law 16 invites reflection on presence, absence, and the nature of value. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius emphasized detachment, suggesting that true power lies in self-mastery, not constant visibility. Law 16 aligns with this, advocating strategic withdrawal to preserve dignity and influence. By absenting oneself, one avoids the pitfalls of overexposure, embodying the Stoic ideal of restraint. Conversely, existentialist thought, particularly Jean-Paul Sartre's concept of being for others, challenges Law 16. Sartre argued that our identity is shaped by others' perceptions, requiring engagement with the world. Excessive absence risks reducing one's existence to mere speculation, alienating the self from meaningful connections. This tension highlights a core question. Does power derive from others' gaze or from internal authenticity? Plato's allegory of the cave offers another lens. In the cave, shadows on the wall captivate prisoners, but true knowledge comes from leaving the cave. Law 16 mirrors this. By stepping away from the shadows of constant visibility, one gains perspective, commanding respect as a figure of insight. Yet, Plato might warn that absence must serve enlightenment, not manipulation, to be morally sound. Eastern philosophy, particularly Taoism, resonates deeply with Law 16. The Tao Te Ching advises, "Do nothing, and all will be done." Strategic inaction, absence, allows natural forces to elevate one's status. Lao Tzu's emphasis on humility suggests that withdrawing from the spotlight avoids envy, fostering honor organically. However, Confucian ethics, which prioritize social harmony, might critique excessive absence as neglecting communal duties. From a Nietzschean perspective, Law 16 reflects the will to power. By controlling one's presence, one asserts dominance over others' perceptions, embodying Nietzsche's ideal of self-creation. Yet, Nietzsche's warning against resentment born of envy, suggests that absence must be strategic, not spiteful, to avoid provoking backlash. Utilitarianism, as proposed by John Stuart Mill, evaluates Law 16 by its consequences. If absence fosters respect and benefits the collective, say by inspiring others, it is justifiable. However, if it isolates or manipulates, it risks harm, failing the utilitarian test. This calculus underscores the law's ethical ambiguity. Absence is powerful, but context-dependent. Philosophically, Law 16 navigates the interplay of visibility and restraint, authenticity and strategy. It reflects a world where perception shapes power, yet it challenges us to wield absence with purpose, not vanity. Next, we'll explore practical applications. Law 16 requires finesse to avoid seeming aloof. Here are practical, ethical tips to harness its power. 1. Time your absence. Withdraw when your value is high, not during obscurity. For example, after a successful project, reduce visibility to let your achievement resonate. Psychological research on peak end theory shows that people remember high points, amplifying your impact. 2. Curate your presence. Be selective about appearances. Attend key events or meetings where your contribution will shine, avoiding routine gatherings. Social psychology's distinctiveness principle suggests that rare appearances stand out, enhancing memorability. 3. Maintain a subtle presence. Absence doesn't mean disappearance. Use indirect channels, e.g., a thoughtful email or social media post, to stay relevant without overexposure. Media studies show that controlled communication maintains influence while preserving mystique. 4. Cultivate quality over quantity. When present, deliver exceptional value. A single, insightful comment in a meeting can outweigh constant participation. Organizational behavior research on task significance supports this. Impactful contributions elevate status. 5. Signal intentionality. Frame absence as purposeful, not neglectful. For instance, explain a break as time for reflection or growth. Attribution theory suggests that others respect intentional choices, reducing misinterpretations. 6. Monitor perceptions. Gauge how others respond to your absence. If it breeds resentment, re-engage selectively to rebuild trust. Social feedback loops, per systems theory, emphasize adapting to others' reactions. 7. Balance with connection. Pair absence with occasional warmth to avoid alienation. A brief, meaningful interaction, like a personalized message, maintains relationships. Attachment theory highlights that secure bonds tolerate distance if trust is intact. These tips ensure Law 16 enhances respect without isolating you, aligning with ethical and psychological principles. Law 16 is versatile across contexts. Here's how to apply it ethically. In the workplace. After leading a successful campaign, reduce your visibility by skipping non-essential meetings, focusing on high-impact tasks. Share updates sparingly, letting your results speak. Organizational psychology's status enhancement theory suggests that selective presence signals confidence, boosting respect. In social settings, add a community group, contribute meaningfully, but avoid overcommitting. For example, volunteer for a key event, then step back, letting others seek your input. Social capital theory shows that selective engagement positions you as a valued member without burnout. In personal relationships, in a friendship, take brief breaks after intense periods of connection, explaining you need time for personal growth. A thoughtful gesture, like a heartfelt note, during absence maintains bonds. Attachment theory supports this. Secure relationships withstand temporary distance. In digital spaces, on social media, post sparingly but with impact, sharing insights or milestones. Avoid daily updates to maintain intrigue. Media psychology's selective self-presentation suggests that curated posts enhance perceived value. Ensure absence doesn't harm others. If a colleague relies on your guidance, provide support before withdrawing. Utilitarian ethics emphasizes balancing personal gain with collective well-being, ensuring your strategy fosters respect, not resentment. By applying Law 16, you cultivate an aura of significance, enhancing influence while preserving energy and authenticity. Law 16, use absence to increase respect and honor, reveals the power of scarcity. Psychologically, it captivates through rarity. Philosophically, it balances visibility and restraint. Applied ethically, it elevates status without alienation. I'm Mr. TomTom from Psychiant. Learn Psychology. Subscribe for Volume 18, where we'll explore Law 17. Share your thoughts below. How have you used absence strategically? Visit Psychiant.com for exclusive content. Until next time, stay elusive, stay impactful.